Hello, welcome back to Cracking the Cryptic. Now, Philip Bloomer, also known as Glum Hippo, wrote to us to apologise for what he called the Arvada debacle. Now, Simon solved his puzzle Arvada on the channel. I think what Philip's referring to is the fact that it turned out harder than he predicted. I don't know. Anyway, for whatever reason, and I think we can guess what it might be, Simon has suggested that I have a go at Dutch Baby by Glum Hippo. So I'm going to do that today with a little trepidation. We'll see how it turns out. It's a snake egg puzzle, and those are quite fun. We haven't done one like that on the channel for quite a long time, but I'm looking forward to giving it a try. Actually, it's also a Dutch whisper puzzle. Anyway, on Patreon, we've got Riff Clown's brilliant interactions. Do check that out. Do enter it by the 20th if you can. And of course, we've got all of our apps. We've got everything going on around the channel. We've been streaming on Tuesdays and Wednesdays in the last month or so. We've got our books coming out. We've got the apps, all of our apps on the links under the video. Join us on Patreon for interactions and other stuff. There is always stuff going on anyway. And Sven's SUDOKU PAD and our merchandise, they're all linked under the video. The first link is this puzzle Dutch Baby by Philip. And apparently it's named after, I mean, obviously there is a Dutch whisper in the puzzle. We will get to that in the rules. But it's named after some sort of pastry in America where I think it's some sort of wrapped pancake thing. I don't know. If you know what a Dutch Baby is, feel free to comment. I am going to go through the rules. Normal Sudoku rules apply. So we're going to put 1 to 9 in every row, every column, and every 3 by 3 box, if we can. There is an orange snake in the grid, which moves from one cell center to the next horizontally or vertically. So it doesn't move diagonally, it just moves orthogonally. It doesn't touch itself orthogonally. So we couldn't have a 2 by 2, for instance, on the snake. The snake, I mean, sorry. What I was trying to do is put on the pen tool and then say that the snake couldn't move like that, because that would count as touching itself orthogonally, because the cells that it was in on different parts would touch. Now, the snake divides the non-snake cells into 8 different regions, one of each size from 1 to 8 cells large. Each of those regions acts like a killer cage. It's orthogonally contiguous, and each of those cages encloses exactly one sum clue. So this 24 or that 20, for instance, which indicates the sum of the digits in that cage, and digits may not repeat in the cage. And of course, well, I mean, I say of course, but it would be easy if the sum clue had to be in the top left corner of the cage, but it doesn't. The snake itself is a so-called Dutch whisper line, meaning that neighbouring digits on the snake must differ by 4 or more, so you couldn't have a 1 neighbouring a 4, because the difference would only be 3. That is much more liberating than a German whisper snake. The white dot, there's one white dot that indicates that those 2 digits are consecutive. It seems like a bit of a challenge, but give it a try. I am going to start now. Let's get cracking. You can check the video length to see how I got on. Well, there's so little to go on. 3 given digits. We do obviously have the 8. Okay, well, I can colour. Okay, if the snake is going to be orange, which we are told specifically, then I'm going to make the egg cells blue. Maybe not that blue, maybe the darker blue. There we go. Ah, right, and this one cannot extend in any of the 4 orthogonal directions, because it would form up, it would join on to another clue and thus mash 2 eggs together. And although you can't make an omelette without breaking eggs, you shouldn't break eggs otherwise. So those cells are all orange. This is the 1 cell cage, and it's got a 6 in. We got a digit in the grid in the first minute. Hurrah! Now, this cell can't be blue, and this cell can't be blue for similar reasons. They would join up 2 blue clues, thus putting 2 blue clues into 1 blue region. So we've got a certain amount of orange coming now, and those are snake cells. And I'm very tempted to say the snake clearly goes through here, but here's the rub with that. We haven't been told where the ends are of this snake. So that could be an end, which is annoying. Actually, we can calculate the length of the snake. The eggs are every size from 1 up to 8. So there are 36, that's the 8th triangular number. There are 36 egg cells in the puzzle. The remaining cells out of the 81 cell puzzle are snake. So the snake is 45 cells long. And therefore it begins and ends in the same bishop colour, as it were. Which is a pity, because that could be one end and that could be another. When I say the same bishop colour, I'm asking you to imagine the whole grid checkerboarded. And a bishop would have to stay on one of those colours. And whichever colour this snake starts in, it will end in. That's a really interesting deduction, but it does absolutely nothing to solving the puzzle. Certainly not at this stage. I'm trying to think about whether these cells can be ends, because they're really interesting if they're not. That would have to be a corner if it's not an end. So would this one and this one. We'd get a big old W pentomino if we knew these weren't ends there and there. But we don't know that. Unless there's something holistic about the snake. Maybe something worth thinking about. We found the 1 cell snake egg. Now there's clearly a 2 cell snake egg. And that could be the 10 or the 15. And there's a 3 cell snake egg, and that's probably the other one of those. Although that could be the 20 or the 24. There is okay, let's go from the top. There's an 8 cell snake egg. And that could only be the 36 or the 37. If it was the 37, the 8 cells wouldn't include an 8 because there'd be the other cells. I'm using the secret here, which is that the digits 1 to 9 always add up to 45, which is true. I don't know. I don't know what that's telling us. It didn't fix any of these cages as definitely sized, apart from this one that we already got. Am I meant to think about Dutch whisper numbers in here already? They're so loosey-goosey that it just doesn't seem to be useful to think about that. Oh, okay. Where does this shape? 36 is in a snake egg that is at least 6 cells large, because 9, 8, 7, 6, 5 only add up to 35. So where does this get out? It mustn't touch any of these cells, because it would form up with another region. So it must come out through here. So that is part of the 36 region. Now, if that was blue, this central cell would be one head or tail of the snake. How would that work? Something like this, perhaps. I don't know, I mean, no, not touching itself, but going up through there and round and finishing there. It's possible. Got a lot of white real estate. I don't know. I don't think there's any particular reason to stop any of these digits being a snake head or tail at the moment. I mean, that one isn't, but apart from that, who knows? Now, one of these must be orange, at least, because otherwise they would both be blue and join up those two. One of those must be orange, and that almost says the snake has to come out here, but it doesn't. Because that could be blue still. One of these has to be orange. Although if they were both blue, that would join the 15 region to the 36. I don't know. This is very difficult. I wish Philip had given us some clue where the head and tail were. Okay, here's a thought. What snake egg could that cell be in? Oh, there is an answer. No, there isn't. Hang on. No, this is a valid question. What snake egg cell could this be in? It can't be in the 15 because it would have to be 6 cells to reach there, and 15 can only be maximally 5. It can't be in the 36 because that would have to be 9 cells to get there, and it's certainly not that because it would be a 45. The 33 even would have to be 7 cells to get here. No, 8 cells. Sorry, I did that 7 count with that earlier. And it's true. It would have to be 8 cells. The 33 is not 8 cells because 8 cells have to add up to at least 36. No, it's not 8 cells because the most... Hang on. Yes, there's only 1 cell missing, 1 digit missing from an 8-cell cage. 33 is not a candidate because that missing digit would apparently be a 12 when you subtract 45 from 12. And the 37 cage, don't tell me. No, that would have to be 9 to get there. So this cell is orange because there is no blue region that can reach it. So I was going to say that's on the snake and we can colour these orange, but it could be the end of the snake. It could be the head or tail. Oh, that is irritating. (10) and 15 have to be separated by an orange digit in one of those, well, somewhere there. Probably more than one. But there has to be orange. There has to be orange in box 1. Okay, specifically in this 2x2 region in the corner. There has to be orange in that, otherwise they'd all be blue and that 10 region would be 5 cells big, which is impossible. So there is orange. Oh no, hang on. Yeah, no, that is valid. There is orange in this area. Now how's orange getting in and out of here? It can do, but this cell is a potential conduit in and out as well. I feel my brain wants to tell me that we've got an end of the snake somewhere up here. Let me try and see if I can actually get to the front of my brain why I think that. It could actually be very relevant. This is worth concentrating on. Right, how would this be the end of a snake? Well, it could go round here and through this area. Well, I don't know, let's say like that, and down here and out. That is possible. Okay, how can it, no, what I need to analyse, sorry, I'm so hot. What I need to analyse is how can this not be the end of a snake? And there are ways, and that's fine. And the ways involve a passage through here of orange. Now, that is very interesting because once you've painted those 3 cells that I've got highlighted orange, then how do you get into this top left corner and out again without hitting orange both ways out? And the answer is you don't. So, if this is not the end of a snake and these are all orange, then one of these must be the end of a snake, I think. Or, I mean, it might be there, but it's going to require Yeah, the snake can't pass out through there without connecting to this orange shape. It can't pass out through there without connecting to this orange shape. So it would connect to this orange shape one way or the other, and then it couldn't connect to it again, or all the rest of the orange in the grid would be isolated. So either that is the end of a snake, or it's somewhere up here. I mean, it could even be there. Literally, it could be there, and the snake could go out that way. Yeah, this is actually quite plausible. The snake could come through here, hit the corner. I mean, that's a feasible snake. Wow. But something up here is the end of a snake. Ah, okay. Can I try the same trick down here? That would be really interesting. Yes. No, it doesn't quite work. It doesn't work at all, actually. It's miles away from working. I was going to say, if this is not an end of a snake in row 6, column 6. Now, something I need to establish that I've understood is that this row 3, column 4, that could be the end itself, with the snake either doing that or doing that. But either that is the end or there's an end up here somewhere. That is what I believe I've established. And one of these needs to be orange. Yeah, okay, that was right up there. I would love to do the same in this corner, but I don't think it's available. Because even if I say that these aren't ends, in which case we do get this W pentomino, well, then something down in box 9 must be orange, otherwise the 37 would be a 45 clue at least. And if we came in from this cell, we would get stuck with that posited because we couldn't get past it. But, oh no, it's okay. It's okay. This conclusion is okay. Either one of these is an end, or that W pentomino does exist if neither of those is a snake end. And if that exists, then the snake end must be somewhere around here, because you can't get into box 9 and out again. Now I've just realized you can. If you do this, you can get out again. And then you're just enclosing a big 37 shape, and that could be fine. Oh. Yeah, I mean, that could then go up here. It's so hard to visualize this whole thing, isn't it? Well, it is for me. Yeah, sort of. Well, I mean, that doesn't specifically work, but maybe if you went round, tell you what, if you went round like that, well, no, we've still got to cut these off. There has to be a snake passage, either to here or through here. And this is not the end. It's not the end that we found up here. I mean, it could be the other end of the snake. But that would stop these being ends. Then we would have that. We'd have to do this shape that I'm saying is the only way through and out of this corner if we don't have an end either in it or in this area. Am I wasting time thinking about this stuff? Is there a much easier way to go? There might well be. The trouble is with this puzzle is you could make an assumption that there is a snake passage through here or there is one through here, and it's probably going to be right because most of this is snake passages rather than ends. And you might think you'd done it for logical certainty purposes, but you might not have. Okay, so maybe I can establish that this is a definite passage. Now, I don't know, I'm liking the fact that I've got one snake end somewhere up here. That's got to be valuable. Oh, and we have to get into this, not necessarily into this corner, but there's only so much real estate up here that could be covered by the 24 and the 20 cage. I mean, there has to be, obviously, orange in box 3 and orange in box 9, as well as what we know about in boxes 1 and 7. Oh, this is miles away from any clues. So is that. That cannot be part of the 20 sum because 6 cells will add up to 21 minimum. But it could be just part of the 24. So I can't paint this orange. I can't say for certain that the snake comes out through here, because now that I know there is an end either up here somewhere or here, then it only comes out once from this sort of area, and it either comes out through there, which would satisfactorily separate the 15 and the 36, or it comes out up here. Then the 15 and the 36 would have to be separated on a diagonal. How could they be separated on a diagonal? Okay, how about trying to establish that the snake doesn't end here in box 5 in one of these cells? If it did, so if it went up here, we've got an end up there somewhere, so it would then have to wiggle round this area, come through here, it would have to pick up that cell. Yeah, this is a problem. So now what I'm positing is that, say this is an end. I think we've got a problem. We can't take that into box 1 from there and finish up, because we'll never get to box 3 and back out again. So we have to kind of take this through box 3. When we come out through here, we have to pick up this cell as we go by. So then it's a corner, then we would have to come through here. Now we will never get into box 9 and out again. I don't think this can be an end, and similarly I don't think either of these can be the end going that way. Therefore, I think this has to keep coming out. I think that is conclusive. I'm just going to think it through one more time. If this was an end of the snake, so it comes out here, it can't then go into box 1 because the other end is there and we just haven't got enough. So you have to come down out here. Once you're coming down here, you have to pick up this cell. Then you go here, then you must pick up that cell, and now you will never cover space in box 9 and get out again. That's right. So the snake does pass through here. That's all orange. I don't know if I've established that that's not an end because of this. Oh no, I don't think that's an end either. Because I think this end almost has to take... Oh no, what I'm forgetting is this possibility. Yeah, that's interesting. Oh no, but again, you'll never get into box 9. If you come down here, you have to pick up that as you go by. Unless that was an end... could you do something like this? Interesting. Yeah, I mean, that's not looking ridiculous. Doesn't quite work on the right the way I've done it, but maybe there'd be a way. Tell you what you could do is separate out by, well, not quite given where that is. Oh, I don't know. Okay, but this is right. This bit's right. Okay, blue has to extend out for the 33. Now, that is orange because it has to separate these blue regions. I'm probably going to have to do all this thinking again about whether this can be an end. That's harder for this to be an end, actually. If this was an end, then we have to go through here. Yeah, that's not going to work because we have to pass the south side. Something like this. Yeah, that might just be it, actually. Then you can go round here. Oh my goodness, this might work. Look at that. Is that possible? It certainly means I can't say that row 7, column 6 isn't an end, because something like that might work. Oh, we didn't come through here then. Oh, that may be actually significant. Yeah. How many times do we pass through the grid? Now, do we have to pass through here, or can that be... If that was blue... Oh, this is blue now. I hadn't even noticed that. The 36 has to get out. This is orange to separate the 36 and the 15 in the row. This is orange to separate the 36 and the 10. Now, this one, if this was blue, they would be the two ends, and that wouldn't let the snake get up here. So that's orange. Now the snake is going that way, and these two are blue. Look at that. They have to be separated, so that's orange. And that orange has to join up. Whoa! Oh, wow. Okay, good. Now, that surely can't be an end. I want to join these. Yeah, that 10 clue. If that was an end, this is blue, and that completes the 10 clue. This has to come down here, and the 24 clue can never get made up without crashing into the 20. So that's orange, and these are blue to block that snake in, and that's orange to continue the snake. 15 could be 2 cells. No, 10 is 2 cells. That is the 2-cell snake egg. 15 has to be at least 3. That's orange. This is appropriate. We get a question mark in the corner. This is... Oh, I was going to say this is blue. Yes, it is blue because the 36 region needs at least 6 cells. So they're both blue. Now, this orange is not an end now, or we would never get out past it to get back to it. So it's on a path. They're orange. That's blue, so it doesn't touch itself. That's surely in the 36 region, otherwise the 36 region would stop there or crash into the 33. So, the 36 region having a 9 means it's not the 9-cell region, because that would be the 1 digit missing from the 36 region if it was an 8-cell region. I think I may have said 9-cell region, I mean 8-cell region. So the 36 is therefore a 7-cell region and efficiently connects up in one of those two with that. Orange gets out there and there. So I don't know about this pair. It depends if the 15 is 3 or 4 cells. I don't know about this pair, but again, it's one of each. This is orange to separate. This is blue to keep alive. That's orange to keep going. Hang on. I may not be able to say that, because I don't know that that needs to keep going. Could this be an end? Oh, gosh, you have to keep thinking about this. No, because you will never get into box 9 that way. So that's not an end, so that does continue. But I mean, you have to do that thinking. Then I don't know where it joins up. This 33 cage has to be at least 5. Now we've had the 2, we've had the 1, we've had the 7. 37 is the only thing left that can be the 8 shape. Is it worth pencil marking these? That's the 8 shape. That's the 7. That's the 2. That was the 1, but I can't put that into there. This is 3 or 4. I don't know. I mean, it might be, but we've had the 7. Could 33 be 5? It could theoretically. Okay, what about the path? The path, we now know where it is in the first 3 columns, virtually. And then it joins up with this. So then it runs out here. So that is now continuing path. And now it's going to pick up something in box 3, then come down here. Then it could circle around here and finish exactly there. Or it could come down here and join up with that and then finish in box 9. I'm still not tempted to look at the Dutch Whispers aspect of this puzzle and the Sudoku of it yet. Half an hour in, and wow, what a struggle. I don't know. If Philip thought this was easier, I think he's had another shank. Anyway, can that be an end? I think the answer to that is no. That can't be an end, because how are you going to get into box 9 ever? I mean, you could go straight into it, but then you mustn't join up here. That's not an end. So the path continues there. Blue continues to the bottom. Now it could just curl around and finish. So this orange might or might not go down to the bottom of the grid. Can that be an end? Can I colour this 8? Fine. I tell you what, this 37 is an 8-cell cage. What is the digit it doesn't contain? It's 8. So this 8 is not in the 37 cage and therefore must be orange. Oh gosh, that's clever. So that's blue because of the path. That's orange to... No, I don't know that the path continues. I can't do that. We worked out that could be an end. Oh, I'll tell you something. This can't be blue. No, I'm not sure about that anymore. I was going to say because the path has to come through box 9, but I think the path can end in box 9. In fact, I was postulating earlier that that might be an end. Now, what happens here? Yeah, no, it does look like you can do that. Well, not quite that, but if you went there, maybe. Then maybe you'd have to come down to the bottom. The 37 would look good. The 20... No, what about this? This can't be... Oh, we said earlier it could be blue if it joined the 24. No, that's 7 cells. What does 7 cells add up to? At least 28. I think I miscounted that earlier. This can't be in the 24 cage or the 20 cage because 6 cells add up to at least 21. This is orange. And it's on the path because there's no way the path ends here. That wouldn't make any sense. The path comes through box 3. We know that. So that's on the path. In fact, we can then colour all of these orange. That's where the path goes. That's blue. Oh, that's a big jump. That is not in the 24 cage because the path is going to have to join up here somehow. So it's in the 20 cage, which is now at least 4 cells. Now let's count again. We've had the 8, the 7, the 2. The 24 could be 3 cells though. And the 15 could be 4, and the 20 could be 5. This is not, we've got a 6 cell cage coming. Ah, that can no longer be the 24 cage because of shapes. It would crash into that. Even if it was, yeah, it's got to let the orange path through. So no, the 24 cage is not the 6. The 33 cage is the 6 cell cage. And that goes blue as a result. Now, orange has to, can that be an end of the path? No, the path has to go into box 9. So that's orange. This is blue because the 37 has to get out. I want to say there's no way that this is an end and that we join up here. And that is now because we could not separate the 20 cage and the 37 cage with orangeness anymore, if that was an end. So that's not an end, that's orange. And that is now going to join to this. Yes, those two are going to join up together fairly efficiently. And we're going to end in the bottom right corner somewhere. Now, this 33 cage doesn't go all the way to the end because it would be 8 cells big. We know it's only 6 cells big. That is the maximum place it can extend to. So some of this orange goes into the bottom row. Is that right? Or could it end here? Yeah, it can't just end here. Because the third, these, well, that I could make blue. The 37 cage is 8 big. If I made this orange, orange would come down here. 37 cage would only be 4 big. That's blue. This is part of the 37 cage. This one, I feel like it has to be blue. Again, if it was orange, you can't get, even if you allowed those into the 37 cage, you couldn't get 2 more cells in blue. So that's not orange, that's blue. Now we've got 5 of the 8 cells in the 37 cage. This is the 6. We've had the 8, the 7, the 6, the 2 and the 1. This could be 3, 4 or 5. That's 3 or 4. This is 3, 4 or 5. Ah. These must join up efficiently, by which I mean with 1 more cell, like meeting as quickly as they can. These must join up efficiently. Those must join up efficiently in some way. There's no wiggle they can do. Those must join up efficiently. And now I can calculate the length of the path, which has to be 45 cells. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 10, 11, 12, let's say there. 13, 16, 19, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 29, 32. Let's just assume down here, 36, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43. 2 more cells to go. Well, we're not finishing there because the 33 cage would be too big. So we're definitely finishing here on another bishop's colour cell. And we're joining that efficiently, so these are blue. There we go. So I've still got some path to calculate. Oh, the 37 cage now has 7 cells filled. So it doesn't go up to here. So that's orange, because orange has to come through here. That's now blue. Okay, I may not be able to fill in any more colours at the moment, but that's not bad. We have a very clear picture of where our orange snake is going. Well, a fairly clear picture. Now I shall turn my attention to the numbers and the Dutch. Well, I've got the Dutch Whisper and, oh, let's just get rid of these pencil marks because they may confuse me. Oh, this 37 shape doesn't have an 8 in it. So the 8 in box 9 is in one of those 2 cells. That's interesting. This 36 shape Oh, it's missing 2 cells that add up to 9. I almost want a breather here. This is so enervating. Gosh, this is weird. Okay, what do we do next? If the 24 was 3 cells, the 20 cage can't be 3 cells. So the 3 cell cage is either this 15 or the 24. If it's the 24, those are 9, 8, 7. Then these are orange. These are both blue. That's orange, that's blue, that's orange, that's blue, that's orange, that's blue, that's orange, that's blue, and blue is 4. Wow, I mean, it does, yeah, I guess the path length has kind of fixed this stuff. So that, okay, if that was 9, 8, and 7, 6 and 5 would be down here. I don't know. Let's do Dutch whispers instead. So 8 has to be next to a low digit. 1, 2, 3, or 4. Now, here is the thing with Dutch whispers. With German whispers, you can alternate between high and low. Numbers higher than 5 and numbers lower than 5. With Dutch whispers, unfortunately, the thing doesn't work quite as cleanly because you can occasionally change parity by going through a 5 in a 1, 5, 9 sequence. That's the only way and the essential way to change the parity alternation. And that can be very helpful sometimes in establishing Dutch whisper sequences. But maybe not here. Oh my goodness, I don't know what to do. Yeah, I mean, I suppose you couldn't have a polarity change anywhere in this column with the 5 in it, because you couldn't put the 5 in there. The trouble is, this can't be a 5, because that would be a 1, and this would have to be a 9. So this is not a 5 or a 6, it is quite a high digit, 7, 8, or 9. This is then low, although now this could be a 5, we could go 9, 5, 1. So it's low, but might include 5 as a possibility. This, I want to say this must be high, but of course 1 is now possible. Bother. That's potentially a 5. Actually, it can't be a 6 or an 8, so we've only got 5, 7, and 9 as possibles there. How is this whole grid going to disambiguate fully? It just feels impossible at the moment to me. Impossible. Okay, this central box, those 3, there's no 5, there's no polarity, no parity. No, it is polarity. I've been using the word parity and I mean polarity. There are no polarity switches in this box because 5 can't appear on that orange string. So these are all either high, in which case they're 7, 8, 9, or low, in which case they make up a 1, 2, 3, 4 quad. Can that be low in a 33 cage of 6 cells? It can, is the basic answer. You could have 9, 8, 7, 6, 2, 1 to make up a 33 cage, for instance. So I don't know what to do about that. Gosh, this ain't easy. Okay, come on, Mark, think of something else. I mean, I did not know what the polarities here were. I don't think they are calculable at the moment. 7, 8, 9 there. 7, 8 or 9 here. This wants to, it's either 1 or it's a high digit. Although not very high since it sees 8 or 9. So for that to be an 8, that's a 1. This is 5, 9. It's possible. It's possible. I don't know. I mean, is something about this path concluded and I can't tell? I just don't think it is. I really don't think it is. All of the uncertainties I've got about the path still look uncertain to me now. Okay, maybe let's think about this not being the 3, because that would be useful over here. That would actually resolve all of these cells. So if this was the 3, it would be 9, 8, 7. How could you conduct the whisper beside that? With no 5 allowed, you'd have to have a 6 in between 1 and 2. Oh, and if this was 9, 8, 7, these would be orange cells to hem in the snake egg. And you'd need a high digit on both sides, and that's not possible. Right. Wow, mind-blowing. So that is not the three cell snake egg. This is. So that's orange. There we go. That's blue. Now we've finished the 36 7-cell egg, so that's orange. That's blue. Now we've finished the 33 cell 6 egg, so that's orange. That's blue. It's not the 8. That is the 8. Interesting. The blue 8-cell snake egg is finished, so that's orange and that's blue. Now we've got a 4 and a 5-cell egg left to finish. So this must be at least 4. So it's got to take that as blue. And that's orange. And then I think we can't finish off still. But that was quite good. That's just from working out 9, 8, 7 wouldn't work there because of their polarity nature. Now, this can't be 1 anymore because you can't put anything that could go next to 8 after it. So that is high, 6 or 7. This is not now 5 or 4 even. It's 3, 2 or 1. This is low, 1, 2, 3 or 4. Don't tell me this hasn't done anything. It can't be 4 because of that being maximally 6 or 7. Now, these 2 digits, by the law of leftovers in the snake egg, go in those 2 cells. There's an 8 up here somewhere. Now, what about parity alternation? Again, though, a polarity alternation. Right, this could go 1, 5, 9, so that could change immediately here. I don't think we've still learnt what the polarities here are, which is a pity, a great pity. The 33 cage is going to contain 6 digits that will be all the 9 digits apart from 3 that add up to 12, which will go in these 3 cells along with whatever is there. I don't know what to do about that. I mean, 10 and 15, those cages are so useless. They literally average 5, which gives them the most flexibility possible. Actually, if the 20 cage turns out to be 4, that does too. You wouldn't think these numbers are any use at all. Now, these 2 cells see everything in the 36 cage apart from the 5. What's missing from the 36 cage is 2 digits that sum to 9, and I think one of those must be in these 2 cells. I don't know if that tells me anything at all, but it's still noticeable. Probably not worth anything. There's this polarity alternation. I want to use it, but I don't know where I can use it at all. still feel like I've got nothing to go on. Can I alternate high, high, high? Let's assume there were no polarity switches. We'd go high, 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 high. I don't know. I mean, why is that a problem? I don't know. Maybe I'm not meant to be thinking about polarity switches at all, but I don't know what else I can actually spend my time thinking about. This is frustrating. What on earth are you meant to do? Help me, Philip. It just doesn't feel like there's enough information to solve this puzzle in any way. Right. Is it the snake eggs? I don't see how they're doing anything. The white dot is doing nothing at all. I mean, it's sort of potentially doing something with polarity, but it's not any use. I'm sure it's not. Oh, there must be a 5 in the 33 cage, because those can't be 5s. So one of these is a 5. Is that telling you something that it's not telling me? These low digits. 6, 8, 5. If this was high, it is 7 or 9. Otherwise, it's one of 1, 2, 3, 4, and 2 of them are there. The trouble is there aren't even monogamous digits in Dutch Whisper Sudoku. 4 can live next to 8 and 9. And that is the main source of its different flexibility from German whispers, I believe. My gosh, I'm really struggling to see anything we can do here. So sorry guys, but this is ridiculously hard. It probably won't look it if I do find another step, but I am some way away from that, I feel. Okay, the 36 cage, it must have a 4 in it because it has a 5 in it. So it had these 6 digits are 3 pairs that do add to 9 each, so that we can exclude 1 pair that adds to 9. So one of those is a 4, and neither of those can be a 4. That is the most unexciting conclusion possible. In this column, we've got 2 highs and 2 lows so far. That must be another pair. In this column, we've got 2 highs and 2 lows, and that's another pair, probably. Although, of course, the 5 possibility is always looming. I don't know, there must be a way to do something, but I don't know what it is. I've not missed a rule. No, I haven't. I really haven't. Oh, goodness gracious. What are we meant to do? Just sit and stare and ponder. Okay, in this column, assuming no parity alternation, we have high, low, high, low. And then what? 2, there can't be 2 more high digits. Oh, and well, there's no 9 in the column apart from that one. So there must be 2 digits from 876 in this set. No, even that doesn't apply, because this could go 1, 5, 9. This is very hard. But it is an idea to look at the columns which have pairs. So there is a 5 somewhere in this column. But if it wasn't in those two cells, that's a high-low pair. Then that's a high-low pair under the same proviso, and that one. Then these include high, low, and a 5. But that's easy. They could be 4, 5, 6. Okay, what's in these cells? Is it actually both digits? No, it's either of the digits in the 9 pair that aren't in the 36 cage. So let's say 1 and 8 were excluded from this cage. Then one of these could both be 1 and 8, or they could be one of those and a 5. If there was a 5 here, there would specifically be a 1 with it. But otherwise, these are a pair that add up to 9. Right, if there isn't a 5 here, they're a pair that add up to 9. If there is a 5 here, they're 5 and 1. If they are a pair that add up to 9, they can't be 4, 5 or 6, 3 because they would be too close on the whisper. So it's either a 2, 7 pair, a 1, 8 pair, or a 1, 5 pair. That almost feels like an actual deduction. We've got an 8 there, so that's not 8. Oh, this is not a 5 because neither of these can be a 9. Now this can't be a 1 because that was going either with 5 or 8 here. So this can still be a 2, 7 pair. Can that be a 5? I think yes, if they were both 1s, annoyingly. Or that could be 8 and 1. But 2, 7 works either way round. Still, we actually found something out about those cells which was not expected. And there can't be a polarity change there, because if that's a 5, that's a 1, 1 pair. None of these can be 5. We can't have a polarity change until at the earliest that being a 5, with 9 outside the box. In fact, the only place 9 could go in this length of snake is right there. So that's the only place we could have, well, any polarity change would involve a 9 there in its 1, 5, 9. We can't even have a 5 here, so we have got alternating polarity all the way round to there. Okay, I'm going to need to do some colouring. In fact, we've got alternating polarity all the way from here because of the lack of a 5 in this central box. Okay, so let's go red and yellow. We're alternating polarity all the way down here. We can't even change polarity around this corner. Now, I have to allow that in whatever is high, 5 might be included at least here, and whatever is low, not so sure. And in this cell as well, 5 could be there if this was to go 1, 5, 9. Right, okay, but that is an alternation of polarity. Now, I also obviously know... Actually, let's get rid of all this blue snake egg stuff. The eggs can be white, which is probably the proper colour of snake eggs. And we just have to finish off one of those as orange. I have to remember that. In fact, let's part colour those. There we go. Now, I'm going to colour blue for low. I can't use orange for high. I'm going to have to use purple for high. There and there. Okay, so am I learning anything? If red is blue, that's the set of red, and this is then a yellow cell. Down here we've got 2 high and 2 low in these 4 cells. So these include 5 and 2 high and 2 low. So the maximum they could add up to is 3, 4, 5, 8 and 9, which is 29. So the minimum this cell could be is 4. And they couldn't be 3, 4, 5, 8 and 9 together with a 4, because that would double the 4 in the snake cage. So then the egg, I mean. So this is not low, this is high. It is 7 or 9. And these are the other high digits. Is that the conclusion? Yes. We've got 2 highs. Yellow has become high. So I'm just going to change all my yellow to purple for high. There we go. Get rid of that one. And I'm going to change all my red to blue for low. There we go. Right. I think that is a reasonable conclusion from the total of the 33 cage. That's high. Yeah, okay. So this is... now down here, this is low. It is 1 or 2. This is high. Can't rule out 5. So 7 or 8. This is low. 1, 2 or 3. Can't... No, it could be 4. Bother. This is high. 6, 7, 8 or 9. This is 7, 8 or 9. That's 7, 8 or 9. This one is low. I mean, I'm sorry about the pencil marking, but I just don't see how to cope with this otherwise. Frankly, I'm quite pleased to have got this far in the puzzle. That can't be 4 because it can't be surrounded by 9 and 8. So 3 is the highest that could be. Now, this one could be a 4, could even be a 5. No, it couldn't. The only way that could be a 5 was if this was a low 1, and that was the place where 9 could go. So again, we don't have a parity change going on. Excellent. Until maybe here. Low digit there. Then you could have a 5 here and a 9 here. But no, sorry, I called it a parity change again. No polarity change around the corner there. Okay, epic, 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 epic. This is low. Have to allow... No, I'm not allowing 5 as a possibility because these are both high. In fact, this one is 7 or 8, and this can't be 5 either. So that is 7 or 8. I'm going to shade that as high. Actually, maybe I'll shade these as high as well. Don't see why not. Might tell me something. This one is... This could be a 5 touching 2 1s. That is worth noting. This one can't be. This is 6, 7 or 8. So is that. Right. Now, these 33 that add up. Come on. We're missing 2 high digits. Although, no, one of those is actually this one. So we're missing 1 high digit. If we missed 9, we would have 8, 7, 6, 5 is 26, and we'd need another 7. That's no good. We can't miss 9. I don't know. Is that the way to do this? It probably isn't. The 3 digits missing from the 33 cage add up to 12, and that's those 2 and 1 of these. So 4 and 3 would be too much. Four and 2 wouldn't. I don't know. No, that's not what to do either. You know, there is every chance there is a totally different way of going about this puzzle, but there is also a chance I will never find it. So I am carrying on my current route. Now that could be a 5. And now how are we going to do in terms of polarity switching? If we went high, 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 then we either have no polarity switches or we have to have 2 around here. I don't think you could have 3. Yeah, but I don't know. I don't honestly know whether you could have 2. Maybe it's something I have to think about, but I'm struggling to think about that at all. Wow, this is mad. That's a 1, 2, 3 triple. So one of these is a 3. If that was a 3, that's a 7, 8 pair. And that's definitely 5 then. If that's a 3, that's a 7. Ooh, which one? Ah, goodness. It's getting more and more interesting. But it's also at the same time getting harder and harder. Now, this pair, we're going to include one of the digits in the sum that is not here. So if it's 5, 1 or 8, 1, then 1 and 8 don't appear in this cage. But if that's 2, 7, then it's 2, 7 that don't appear in the cage. If it is 7, 2, then that can't be a 3 anymore. That would have to be a 1. It can't be 7, 2, because that would have to be a 1. Because 3 mustn't touch 6. And that would have to be a 3, and that would have to be a 7, clashing with this hypothetical 7. So it's not 7, 2. Therefore, this is a 1. There's my second digit in the grid, an hour and a couple of minutes after the first digit. I'm not ashamed. I'm really not ashamed. Right, 2, 3 pair there. Now, has that done anything? This isn't a 1. Therefore, this isn't a 5. That is definitely high now. This one can't be a 5 anymore. Not sure why I thought it could. Hasn't been able to be a 5 for a while, I think. So these include 1 low, or could be 5 or could be high, the other digit. This is low, and it's not a 5, obviously, because there's a 5 sitting there. This is high, but this could be a 5. So it's high-ish. Now, what about this white dot pair? The trouble is that just hasn't been resolved, because these 3 high-ish digits, oh no, okay. Right, including the 9, we've got 4 of the high digits, 4 of the 5 high digits. So this can't be from 5, 6, 6, 7, 7, 8, or 8, 9. So it must be from 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. In this 10 cage, we can't have a 5 there, so that is a low digit. This is a high digit to make up the 10 sum. Now, if that was a 5, that would be 9 and this would be 1. That wouldn't work. If that was, oh no, it would work. That would be a 4, that would be a 6. If that's a 5, oh, well, this is a parity thing now. Now that, that can't be a 1. So this must be, oh no, it could still be a 9. It could be high. Oh, bother. Um, good grief. This is so difficult. That can't be an 8 by Sudoku. That's been available for hours, I imagine. 2, 3, 4. If that was a 4, these would be 9 and 8. Can't see the potential problem with that. Oh, well, again, it would make this a 5. If that was an 8. No, I don't know why that's any kind of difficulty yet. This pair are the same as that pair, I remember. So they're from 2, 3, 6 and 7. And we've made up the 1, 2, 3, 4 set, including whichever of those is 2 or 3. So this is a high digit. It can't be 5 or 9 in the cage it's in, so it's 6 or 7. This has now become impossible. That's a 6, 7, 9 triple. There's nowhere for 5 in this row. Oh, well, that's depressing. What have I done wrong there? There can't be a 5 in the middle box. There can't be a 5 in this snake egg. Oh, look, I've said that couldn't be a 5, and I've made all sorts of deductions based on that. And that's not necessarily true, so we will revert back to where I did that, which was quite a way ago when I came down this channel here. I'm sorry, but it needs to be done. Come on, get back to there. Now, I said that was low. And I don't think I've got a good reason for knowing it's not a 5. So, there we go. We're back to here. Now, I've already got a very good reason for knowing. Now I can think about where 5 is in this row. So, apologies if you've corrected me from. Well, this was before I put that 1 in, so this is about 10 minutes ago. I clearly was wrong to mark those and their polarity. But now, 5 cannot be there because those digits are those digits. Therefore, the 5 in the row, which can't be there in this egg, is in one of those cells. If 5 was there, this is a 1. And if 5 is here, this is high. Well, I mean, it has to chime with that. So it's either 5 here and 9 here. This can't be a 1 because of this cage. No, that's not true. If this was a 5, could that be a 1? No, because that can't be a 9. Okay, that is fair enough. So it's either 5, 9 in that order, or 5 there and 1 there. And I have to allow for those possibilities. Now, let's reset and try it this way. This can't be high because it can't be. No, that's not true. That's not true. If this is a 5, because that's a 9, that is definitely a 1. If this is a 5, then this is 7, 8, or 9. No, 7 or 8 specifically. Well, I mean, there we go. 1, 7, or 8 there. Now, I've still got this 1, 2, 3 triple. Did the logic I did here, I don't think it applies anymore, but this is still definitely 6, 7, or 8. And this is still definitely 6, 7, or 8. Now, I don't even remember what I did next, unfortunately. So there we are. We have to do what we can do and not anything we can't. So 4 is definitely in one of those cells. Fascinating. Yeah, again, well, these are now from 1, 2, 3, 6, or 7. But I don't know the polarity of this digit anymore. There's one high there, one there, one there. And then there could be one there. But the same goes for low. It's just uncertain. It's very interesting. There must be a 5 in one of those cells, though. This can't be a 5 anymore because it can't join with a 1 either side. So that's definitely low. I do hate this polarity switching business. Now these are definitely low. I don't know why they came out. That is 5 or high. Up here we have 2 of one polarity and 1 of the other. Oh, can I retry this? I doubt it. Okay, there's a possibility that this is a 5. In that case, this is high, 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 high. Then these are both low. Alternatively, that's a 1, and this is a 5. And then I'm thinking high, high, yeah, that's got to be right, high, high. That is true. Yeah, this couldn't be a 5 because that couldn't be a 9. Okay, so the high digits, 2 of them are in. Well, no, if that's low, then we've got high here, 5 there. It's difficult. If this is low, have we used up the high digits in this column? We would have 5 here, a high digit here. No, that's not enough high digits. Wow, this is monstrous. Oh, I was going back to then thinking about this pair. Now, if this was 7, 2, now we still have this same problem. That can't be 3 because it would be touching a 6. 7, 2 would lead to that being a 1 and that being a 3 and that having to be 7, which would be a clash. So this is not 7, 2, and that is definitely a 1. That bit was still actually available. I'd just forgotten it. Okay, come on. How could this really be a 5 with that being a 1? Yes, it could. Or that being 8, and that could be any of the low digits. If that's an 8, this is a 6, 7 pair. That doesn't decide what that is, but it does stop this being a 4. It gives us a 2, 3 pair in the first column. No, I cannot see how to do the rest of this. But still, we got this 1 back. I mean, this is going to be a 2-hour video minimum. I don't know about the 24 cage. So the 1 there means it's 1 and 8 that are missing. Yeah, there's no 1 in this cage, so there's no 8 in the cage either. In fact, the other digits in it are 2, 3, 4, 6, and 7. So in this row, 9's in one of 2 places. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7. It's not quite powerful enough to do anything, is it? What about in this box? Those are from 2, 3, 4, 6, 7. Or in the column. We need a 9 somewhere up here. If that was a 9, this would be 1 and that would be 2. And that's impossible because one of these has to be 1. Okay, that's not a 9. The 9 in column 3 is in one of those cells. And that is going to resolve the polarities around this chunk, or certainly in this area, because we can't have a 5 in either of those cells, so we can't change polarity from the 9 there. So those two have to be low, and that has to be high. Now, the only possibility I'm trying to consider, which I don't really want to, is a 5 in one of these cells becoming a 9 here, stopping it being high. That won't work because that would need a 1 in one of these cells, and we've established there is a 1 in one of those two. Excellent. Okay, so that is fair. These are from 1, 2, 3, 4. This is from 6, 7, 8, 9. What I'm finally going to conclude is that this is high, which I've kind of expected all along, so that's totally uninteresting. Now, one of these must be high, because we need... No, that could be 6, 7, 8. No, we need a 5 in this box. Oh, it's here. That's the only place for a 5 in box 7. So that is a 1. Wow. So these aren't 1s. That's not a 6 anymore, because it can't be next to 1 and 2. 6 is definitely in one of these cells. Now, 3 of these cells add up to 12, and the other one is there. So it's either 1, 2, 9 and a 7, which goes there, or 1, 3, 8 and a 9 or 7, but there's no 6 there available anymore, okay? And that means we know where 6 is in this column. It's there at the bottom. That gives me a 7 here. There's no 7 in these cells. The only place for 8 in the box is there. And there is a 6 in one of those cells and not in the rest of the egg. That's not a 1. Now, is there some read across? Not enough. It could still be 1, 3, 8 and whatever that is, or 1, 2, 9 and a 7. Goodness, everything is being wrung out of this one drop of sweat at a time. Sorry for the graphic imagery. Now, 8 has to be in one of these cells by Sudoku. It's quite likely to be in the high cell. If it was there, that would be a 2. This would be a 3. Now, I don't know what that would do. 8, 9, 5, 1. So 2, 3, 4, 6, 7. This is not huge. 2, 3, 4 or 7. I suppose it could be 7, but this 33 cage needs quite a few biggish digits. Oh, across the bottom, those are from 4, 5, 9, as is the corner. Now, if they had a 9, that would be a 7. These would be 7 and 8. That would be a 3. That would work okay in terms of the exclusions. I'm sorry this is taking so long, but it is just fascinating. But it goes on being interesting. Right, that can't be a 7. That is now either 1 or 8. Which is quite restricted, but not very helpful. I mean, I was thinking of filling in the candidates for this cell, but they're 6, 8, 2, 3, or 4. Useless. Right, okay, what is on this white dot? Not 9 or 8, not 7, not 1. Polarity? Yes, polarity. Okay, so that's not a 5, so it's high. This is either low or it could be a 5. So I'm going to write in 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5. This is high unless that was a 5, in which case this could be a 1, but it can't be because one of these is a 1. So this is high. There we go. This is low. It's a 1. This is the 5 now. And this is 9. Here we go. Here we go. This is 6 or 8. It's high digit. It's got to be 8. It's the only place in the column for 8. These don't have a 5 on, so they also don't have a 6 on, and the only place in the column for a 6 is there. These have a 3 on. This is now 2 or 4. This has to be high, but annoyingly 6 has come back into the picture. This is now a 2, 3, 4, 7 quad. So that in fact we have 6, 8, 9 as a triple at the top. Now, how does this 10 thing get made up? Not with a 9 and not with a 3. That is 2 or 4. That is the 3 on the white dot. Can't sit next to a 6. That can't be a 3. This is also high. 7, 8, or 9. Can't be 8 or 9 in the column. So that's 7. These are 1 and 5. We know the order thanks to the snake. I must be able to add up this 15 cage. I think these need a 6, so they're 6 and 4. Here we go now. 4 has gone from there. 2 or 3, 6 can't be next to... Oh no, that's not on the snake. Oh, bother! Oh, that 6 is looking at the 4, 6 pair. There we go. So these can't be 4 now either. Goodness gracious. Progress of sorts. Okay. This can't be 6 because one of these is a 2 or a 3. So the 6 is now here in the column, and that's the 4 in the cage, and that's a 2. That's not 2 now. That's not 9. That is a 7. 7 now has to be in one of these cells because it mustn't reappear in the cage. There, for instance. And therefore, the 3 digits... Oh no, they can still be 821 or 9... Sorry, 831 or 921 that are doing the addition here. Those don't have a 7 in. So they do have a 6, and they replicate these. So that's a 6, and it's flanked by 2s under the whisper rule. So that's not a 2. That's now 3 in the corner. That's 3 in the corner. That's 3 in the spotlight, losing its religion. Now we've got a 2 there, so this is a 9 and a 7 to make this cage sum up right. Let's remove the corner marks. And this cage consists of no 9, so that's a 4, 5 pair, that's a 3, and that's an 8. And I just want to check the maths on that cage. 3 to 8 add up to 33. Yes, that is not a 3. These aren't 2s. This is a 1, 3, 5 triple. There's no 3 in that set. This has become a 9 in the corner this time. Here we go. We're still going. We're still going. I've got half the digits filled in now. Let's remove the pencil marks there as well. Okay, come on. Feeling good. Feeling good. That can't be a 2. 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, triple in the column, 7, 8, 9, triple. Sorry, there's probably something quite obvious. We've done quite a lot, so it's cleared out some possibilities. Right, these cells aren't from 3, 7, or 8. That's not actually very helpful. That could be 2 and 3, so that can still be 7. Oh, goodness. Please don't stop giving me things, puzzle. That's now 6 and 2 because they have to replicate these. There we go. So 3 there, 1 here, 4 there. That's 2, that's 3. I will look at the whisper implications in a moment, but they can't have a 7. I don't think there are any. Oh yeah, there's just Sudoku, 9 and 8. That is not 8. That is 7 or 9. This 4-5 pair is not done, nor is the 7-9 pair. I can't even reduce that. I can take 5 out of it because it's on the whisper. Now, maybe it's time to think about polarity changes again. This can't go from 9 to a 1 there because that can't be 1. So this is high. High. Now we could, if that's high, well, no polarity changes is very possible. It's actually quite interesting. But 2 polarity changes is also still possible. So just have to be a bit careful about that. It's difficult. It's difficult to be careful. Oh, look, I've got that 4. Oh, 3 and 2 there. 7-9 pair left in the column. Fine. These are from 1... Oh, this is a naked 5. It's got 1, 4, 6 in the row and the other digits in the column. Ooh, nice naked 5. 1 and 6 in these positions. And these are in this egg, which now only adds up to 12 and needs 2 more cells, which determines the colouring of the snake and its final path. And this must be low. None of those could be a 5. In fact, there is a 5 up here. And because it's contained within the box, there must be a polarity change. And therefore, there must be one in this box as well. And the 5 used in that is going to be in one of these 2 cells. So there are 2 polarity changes. So by the time we've come through that, we have changed polarity. And this is low and not 8. Fascinating. This is low. Goodness gracious. This is definitely high. This is 2 or 3. That one is 1 or 4. In fact, we've got a 1-7-4 triple there. This is a 3. So this is not 5. This is 5 and is joining 9 and 1 in perfect harmony. That is now a 3 and these aren't. That's a 2. That's 6. Sudoku to the rescue. This is high. Oh, that can't be 6 anymore. We've got 4, 7, and 8. So this isn't 4. That is 7 or 8. This is 4. We didn't get the 5 in there. The 5 must be here to separate the 9 and the 1, because that is not a 9 or a 1. So I'm putting the 5 in there, 1 there, 9 there. Hopefully my alternation is right now. That's a 4. I think this is all working on the whisper. Hurrah! That's become a 7. That's not 7. Oh, that does 9 and 7 down here. I bet 1 and 5 are done as well. They are. 3 and 6. That's an 8 to finish the second row. 9 there. 8, 9, 1 and 6. We're going to finish. Please be right. Let's just complete the polarity colouring on the snake. Wow, let's uncolour that 5 as well. There we go. So I think that is the polarity colouring and everything. And this 4 completes an hour and a half's journey into the snake egg. Just a 10-minute glitch over the which I discovered from working out where 5 went in this row, and where I had pencil marked these a bit wrong going up here. But man, that is a difficult Dutch baby. Thank you, Philip. I don't think if the intent was to send an easier puzzle through, you've achieved it. I wish you would. But that was great fun. Thank you for watching, as always, on the channel. I hope to see you again soon. just off for a lie down now. Bye for now.